The Liberals are touting a new group as some sort of grassroots organization of millions of people who support their changes to corporate taxes in Canada. The organization is called the Coalition for Tax Fairness, and Liberal MP Bardish Chagger has bragged about this group and how it represents 4 million Canadians who think everyone deserves a fair tax system. But who this allegedly grassroots organization really is just a click away, and it is anything but grassroots. It's an Astroturf conglomerate of unions and far left-wing advocacy groups. So, of course, they don't like business people. They sort of think everyone should work for the government. Now, let's go down the list of members of this group. There's the Alberta Federation of Labour. Now, we know through Freedom of Information requests that they helped write Rachel Notley's attack bill on Alberta farmers, Bill 6. There's the Broadbent Institute, founded by NDP Premier Ed Broadbent. There's the Canadian Labour Congress. Remember those guys? They're an organization of Canadian unions that once wrote a letter accusing Israel of war crimes. There's Canadians for Tax Fairness. There's Citizens for Public Justice. They're an umbrella organization that hates oil and gas and co-ops religion to push a whole host of left-wing madness like using taxes to create a more fair society. There's the FTQ, that's the Federation of Quebec Workers. That union was infiltrated by organized crime groups like the Hells Angels and the Italian Mafia. There's the Labour Council of Metro Toronto, Newfoundland and Labrador, Federation of Labour, and Oxfam Canada. Now let's talk about Oxfam Canada for just a quick second. They've really been behind this push to grab more taxes from Canada's entrepreneurial class. They have a lot of articles on their website talking about how the rich just aren't paying their fair share. The way you'd expect any left-wing charity to talk, to be honest. So I just thought I'd take a quick peek at some of the top salaries at Oxfam Canada. While they are arguably one of the more frugal charities with their payroll, they still have their fair share, to use the language of the left here, of people earning salaries that make them rich. Oxfam has at least 3 people making between $120,000 and $160,000 per year, and another 7 people making between $80,000 and $120,000 per year. Now let's compare those salaries to the numbers from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business on the salaries of small business owners in Canada. CFIB says that 2/3 of Canadian small business owners earn less than $73,000 per year. So 2/3 of Canadian small business owners make way less than the top 10 employees at Oxfam. Now, Oxfam is a critic of small businesses who is currently lobbying the federal government against small businesses. And I'd love to tell you how much the leadership at those unions make, but the Liberals have stripped away the law that would require salary disclosures for unions. But how much do you want to bet? It is way more than the $73,000 the average Canadian small business owner earns. And did you know that union dues are tax deductible? And here I thought these big unions were against what they perceived to be a certain section of the Canadian population using the tax code to get an unfair advantage over others. And while these unions may lay claim to 4 million supporters, those are 4 million people forced by law to join the union, whether they want to or not. This coalition for tax fairness is just the NDP by another name, helping the Liberals stick it to everyday Canadians. It's more like the coalition for private sector layoffs, business insolvencies, and government jobs. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. These are the kind of stories the CBC gets a great big government subsidy to report, but they never do because, well, they want to keep that subsidy from the Liberals. But if you can help us be bigger than the CBC, go to theycanstopus.com.